messing up there. Hello, everyone. My name is Hal. This is Quail Studios Guitar. Welcome to the live stream. Thursday live stream, noon my time. I don't know what time it is, your time. But I see Bob here. Good morning, Bob. Good afternoon, Bob. Albert, hello. Yes, Albert, it's been a long time. And it's evening for you, I believe. Very good. It's good to see you. We're going to talk a little bit today about why is that recording out of tune. I got a message not too long ago from a fellow who said, let's see, what was it? It was Sausalito Summer Night. I did that recording a while back, and I forgot to bring that one up. But he said to me, when I play along with you, when you're teaching it, and I'm tuned up, it sounds great. But when I go to the original recording, it sounds terrible. How come? What's going on? What's the problem here? And I'm going to explain that to you really quick. Let's see, anybody else here? Just Bob and Albert. Hello, Bob and Albert. Let me bring something up here. This part of the live stream I was not planning on, but I want to bring it up because it's really an important part. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Oh, no. That's not the one. Nope, that's not the one. Here it is. This is a guy named Fate. He says, the original recording of Sausalito Summer Night is not in, well, he asked me about this. I told him the original recording of Sausalito Summer Night is not in A440 tuning. And I'll explain this. I said, if you have a tuner, to him, I said this to Fate, I said, if you have a tuner, you can reset it to A451 and you will be okay. Because the tuning is actually between notes compared to standard tuning. And the question is, why is it that way? And my answer is, honestly, I don't know exactly, but I have a theory. And this is the recording. This recording was done in the analog days. And in the analog days, in tape, during tape recordings, 60s, 70s, 80s, and some of the 90s especially, tape, you have to have, there's a motor that controls the tape. And if you speed the motor up, it goes faster, and if you slow the motor down, it goes slower. In the days of tape, an engineer could tweak the motor and on a tape machine and speed up the recording and to wherever they want. This happened to me when I was recording with a band at Producer's Workshop. Producer's Workshop is a recording studio in Hollywood. I'm not sure if it's there anymore. I haven't been there for years. After we completely finished all the basic tracks of a song that we were working on, we were listening back to the recording, and this was before we laid down the main vocals. And all the band members, we all looked at each other and said, we just realized we just recorded this too slow. It was just too slow. And the engineer reached over to the speed knob on the tape machine, and he tweaked it a little bit, and he said, how's that? And we said, a little bit faster, and he sped it up just a little bit more, and we said, that's perfect. So he sped up the recording a little, and we all agreed that that was the correct tempo, and then we laid down the vocals, and it sounded great. Except that now the recording was no longer in A440, it was now sharp, because it's going a little bit faster. But the vocals sounded like our vocals. It didn't sound like chipmunks or something like that, and it wasn't that much faster, it was just a little bit faster. So back in whenever you find a recording that's from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, a lot of times that could be one of the reasons. In fact, an engineer told me that used to work in Hollywood that had worked with Pink Floyd and Three Dog Night and different people. He said sometimes in the mastering process, they would actually tweak the tape a little bit and just speed it up just a hair, make it a little bit sharp. And they thought it sounded good. And this was back in the 80s. And that may be why some recordings are out of tune. And I have no idea whether they actually did that with the permission of the artists or if they just did it just for, hey, we think it sounds great this way. Let's do it. So I don't know. I don't have that information. But I'm going to show you what we used to do. Let's see. Dwayne is here. Hello, Dwayne. Hello. You said, yeah, I finally caught one live. Very good. Fantastic. It's good to see you, Dwayne. All right. Let me pull up a recording here really quick. And I'm going to put it on this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to play a little bit of this recording. So you can tell what that is. That's Every Breath You Take. This is the original recording. This is from the video of Sting and everybody doing this. And guess what? It's not exactly in tune. So when I listen to it, so that's crazy. It's out of tune. So let's see. You might be thinking, well, what did you used to do? Back in the days when we were learning guitar, I started playing guitar in 1969. And we didn't have these great little gadgets called tuners. We didn't have them. These are wonderful. I use a Unitune. This is a Polytune by TC Electronic. I do not get any kickback for telling you this. I love this tuner. It's fantastic. This is a Polytune, whatever they call it. The Unitune is really good too. It's cheaper. This one is about $50. The other one is about 35 or 30 or something like that. I don't remember. But they both do the same thing. This one has a little bit fancier stuff, but I don't even use it. So that's why I bought another one that's cheaper. I use one here in the studio, and I use one when I go teach. So when I watch Sting play this live, they're playing in an A. Every breath you take, right? But if you listen to the recording, it's not quite there. So what we used to do is this. So I'm just listening to that first part, that boom. Can you hear it? I'm doing this by ear. Let me check it with my tuner now and see where it is. This is about halfway in between A and G sharp. Approximately. Now, I'm not sure if it's exactly perfect, but what we used to do is we used to just tune it by ear, one of the notes. I'm doing this by ear. So this is an A, and this is an A. And I'm listening to that. See, it's not quite there yet. I'm going to go back and listen to this. I've got, hold on. This is how we used to do it. Something like that. Now let's go back and listen to it again. So it actually sounds more or less in tune now. I just did that all by ear. Now, one of the ways you can speed it up if you have to do this, and we used to do this all the time with songs. I mean, I didn't have a tuner, so we would just put the record on, and then we would just tune by ear. And if it was a little bit out of tune, we'd tune it, tune our guitar up, and then play. We didn't worry about, is that in tune or not? It just didn't work. So what I can do here, I don't know if you can see that. See how that red line is way up there? Let's get a little closer, see if you can see that. Let me take this off the screen. There. I finally figured it out. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. Sure, it'd be cool if I had somebody here in the studio with me. That's a G sharp. I can't see it very well. There we go. See where that is? So the A is higher. The A is up like that. And the G sharp is right about, it's about right there. So what I would do with the tuner, I would make sure every note is about like that. All right. I'm not framed very well, am I? So it's still not in tune. I would just retweak it again, over and over. Whenever you do this to a guitar, it takes a second to do it. All right, let's go to the next song and see what we get. All right, here it goes. Listen to this one. That's not it. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this song, Mamas and the Papas, California Dreamin'. I'm going to go up to regular tuning on that B note and see what we get. So where do we go? All the leaves are brown. I can't talk and do this at the same time. Really kind of tricky.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray,
I'm just tuning one string. I'm using the A string for the moment. Same thing, it's very close to where the other one was. So what I do is I get on my tuner, I figure out, if it's down a little bit and where it is in relation to the tuner. It's not in tune. Let's see if that works. What's interesting is this guitar sounds out of tune to when they come in.
all the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray,
That's closer. Now let's go to the next recording. All right, this is
to me. Mama just killed him.
all right. So I'm using that B flat. Let's see, is that a B flat? Yeah, and that's flat. So that's what we used to do. So I'm going to bring this up. This is almost to the right pitch. It's a little bit under the pitch for some reason. Do it one more time. There we go. Back it up and check it.
Mama just killed a man.
Yeah, that'll be right. It stopped because it did. All right, so that's what we used to do. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. So, if you have a tuner and you're tuning with the tuner and you get a recording that doesn't sound good. Now, I've just been showing you this, and it's kind of tedious. It's taken a bunch of time, right? Where are we at? I'm like 20 minutes into the video, right? And it takes a little while. Let's see what the comments say. Hello, Lisa from California. Dwayne, okay, say Bob. Tuning the old way brings back memories. That's right. That's what we used to do. Dwayne says, I played for decades, but still have so much to learn from everyone. Bob says, same here, Dwayne. Lisa, hey, Bob and Albert. Let's see. I guess tuning to the original song tuning wouldn't work so well with a keyboard. Actually, you know what? This keyboard that I've got right back here, this is not the one I have usually had. This keyboard, I can actually tune it. The only problem, actually, you know what? I can tune it just a little bit flat and stuff. It has that possibility to do it. So it does work with this keyboard. With a regular piano, it doesn't work, though. Bob says, I wonder if it could be done with a pedal, such as a pitch pedal like Pitchfork. I don't know, Bob. I have no idea. Are you talking about tuning your guitar like if you have it in regular tuning, the pedal would actually change the pitch a little bit? Is that how that works? Because I don't know anything about the pedal Pitchfork. So write that down so we can know. But that's the way I used to, yes, okay, he says yes. So that's the way we used to do it in the old days. And I still do that today. When I worked on Sausalito's Summer Night, it was out of tune, and I had to bring it in tune. And then you have to decide, what key is this anyway? Where do they play it? A lot of times what you want to do is go to a live recording and see, if you're a guitar player, and see where they're playing it. Are they playing an A chord, a G chord? If it's out of tune and they're playing a G chord, I mean, sometimes it's tuned down a half step, right? Like Guns N' Roses did and things like that, and Nirvana. They would do that sometimes. Dwayne says, so what's the practical application of tuning to the specific recording? Simply to make it sound more authentic when played? No. I don't tune, like if a recording is flat, I don't tune to that tuning to play the song. We don't do that. In fact, if you, there's Bob, he says, for practicing with the recording. That's right. So if you're trying to practice with a recording and it's out of tune, I suggest tuning to the recording and then practice with the recording. You'll notice that when I played Every Breath You Take by Sting, his original recording is out of tune. But if you go to a live performance, he's in regular tuning. He's in standard tuning, up to pitch. And you can see what he does, and also the guitar player. So, I just tune to standard tuning when I'm playing for a gig or something like that, live, and that's what I do. But you have to decide, if you're between notes, you have to decide, well, if it's halfway between A and G, and it's like G, A and G sharp, halfway in, do we go down or do we go up? Where do we play it? I like to just play it wherever it's easy, and sometimes I use a capo, right? Sometimes I'll change an A chord into a G chord. See, here's an A chord here, right? Well, if I want to do something different with... Hear that? What's the difference between this chord and this chord? Tell me if you hear any difference. Except for that note. If I don't play that note. Okay. And then this one. So sometimes you can actually mess around with the chords you want to play it in the same key, just use a capo to make it easier. The reason I would actually do that right? If it was in A minor and went to A, B minor, F sharp minor, if I wanted to simplify that for a student, I'd put a capo on and play it like this. Same chords. G chord now to an A minor chord to an F sharp minor. But it sounds like an A to a B minor to an F sharp minor. What did I say before? G to A minor to E minor. That's what I'm thinking of because of the capo. But the real note chords are A, B minor. Sounds like F sharp minor. So if I was playing with a keyboard player and he says, what chords are you playing? I'd say A, B minor, F sharp minor, because that's what it actually sounds like. But if you're listening to this video and you've got your tuner tuned to the right tuning, I'm actually out of tune now, aren't I? Let's see. Dwayne says, makes sense. Bob says, or use the caged method. Yes, that's true. So this is really, all of these things are really kind of theoretical when you think about it, what we do. Recordings are interesting because when we have to use them, we work with them. You know, there have been some discussion online about a, what is it, 431 or 432 or something like that instead of A440. People are saying, oh, you know, it's more natural for you or something like that. whatever. So if you encounter some of those recordings that are flat, you'll have to record. If you want to play along the recording, you'll have to retune. But you won't know unless they tell you that it's A431 or A440 or something like that. I do have on my phone an app. I have 3 apps for tuning. And one of them, let's see, let me bring this one up. This is the Peterson iStrobosoft. That's what it looks like right there. On that, right there, the iStrobosoft. It's allowed to out of. Anyway, when you bring it up, let me close that and bring it up again. Then you can see what it looks like when it's coming up. That was quick, wasn't it? So you can actually tune this to specific tunings, and I think I actually have this on. Yeah, I have this on A440 right now. But when I was figuring out a tuning for someone, I changed it to A451, and that was about right for Sausalito Summer Night. See, as long as you're in tune, it sounds really great. Right? You want to be in tune. You want to be able to train your ear to do that. Now, these out-of-tune tunings, some people with perfect pitch, it'll drive them crazy. I know a lady that, if it's out of tune a little bit, she doesn't listen to it because she can't stand it. So, but other people, I had a teacher once that had perfect pitch, and I said to him, I was in an a cappella choir, and sometimes the choir would go out of tune. It would go a little bit sharp or a little bit flat sometimes when it's a cappella and it's live. It just depends on, what's going on. Now I'm tuning to standard tuning. And I asked him, well, you have perfect pitch. What happens when the choir goes out of tune? He said, I go out of tune with it. When they're singing, if it's gradual, very slight, he said, I don't really notice it. He said, but when they stop, then I realize that they're out of tune. They're a little flat or a little sharp. There we're back in standard tuning again. Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. All right, very good. Anybody else have any questions or thoughts? Give me a thumbs up. I only have 3 likes on this, and there's more than 3 people here. So Dwayne, give me a thumbs up. Bob, Lisa, anybody else that's here? Albert. So I'm going to go talk to and hang out with my supporters over at Rock Out Loud. If you want to know how to do that. Hey, Dwayne. Glad to have you here. Bob says I see 4 likes. I only see 3 likes, but maybe it takes a second for me to see them. No problem. Let's see. What was I just saying? Oh, yes. I'm going to go to Rock Out Loud. I hang out with some people over at Rock Out Loud a lot of times after the live streams. 7 now. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Oh, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I've got over 100,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, subscribe if you like what I do. Dwayne says, thank you very much for holding these. Yeah. Oh, let me tell you, next week I will not be having a live stream. That's because my son is coming with his family, and we're going to go hiking on Thursday, probably. So I won't be here. I'll be here the next week, the week after. Every once in a while, some things are really, really important. Hey, Vinicius Ribeiro. Well, good. You're subscribed. Thank you very well. Hey, Albert, thank you. So I won't be here next week, but tell you what I'll do. I will record a video and put it up at exactly the same time, about noon on Thursday in my time, whatever time your is. I think Albert is about 8 p.m. or something like that, 7 or 8 p.m., because he is in Europe. Yes, he is. And people all across the globe, you figure out what time it is. But I'll put it up and have something going in a week. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Take care. You know the song? Netherlands. Yes, Albert. Very good. We'll talk to you later.